One of my favorite things about coming to schools and doing talks like this is actually getting out there and engaging with people who've read the book. And the students, when they come to this book, they often think like, oh, I'm being required to read this book about cells, and who wants to read a book about cells? But then they start reading it and they get really into it. They're like, oh, it's about race and it's about class and education, and it's really incredible to go out and watch their excitement sort of bloom after reading the book. And a lot of what I see them doing is what happened to me. I mean, I was 16 when I first learned about these cells. I was in one of my first basic biology classes, and it's such a great moment in school when you read it.
Rebecca Skloot is a wonderful writer, and that brings this story to life. It's really many stories woven together. The Immortal Life of Henrietta lacks a story about science. It's a story about race and race relations. It's very much a story about family, and it's a story about our society and what we value and the values that underpin who we are and how we treat each other.
I feel like you really look at it from a family's viewpoint, and you're able to see kind of the human connection with these cells and the human connection with how much it impacted science. That's what makes it.
And I was thinking it would be a little more like the science-y, just kind of like about what the cells are, but I was also really surprised about kind of the whole like emotional aspects of the family, the morals, and it just kind of like how that's all tied in. So it was just kind of really enlightening in a lot of ways.
It was such a huge issue with the medical field and such a gigantic development, and very few people have heard of it. Like I've grown up with 2 medical professors, a pathologist, and several nurses, and I've never even once heard of this entire concept. So that something this gigantic in the medical field occurs and no one knows about it is really shocking.
It's the kind of book that you can read in a history class or a women's studies class or a black studies class or a biology class or the Science Research Fellows senior seminar or a bioethics philosophy class, and get something out of it, and then get something accidentally because you're reading about communication and you accidentally learn about cell biology, or you're reading about cell biology and you accidentally learn about racism in science and medicine. And I think those kinds of connections that we try to make in the classrooms and across our classrooms are brought together much more viscerally in a room of 400 people when you've got someone as engaging as Rebecca Skloot here to talk about it.